Fancy fun fold dies can make fantastic cards like this one, so easy to make, but are so often too expensive for my budget. I'm so tempted to buy them because of the cards they make are beautiful, but the price tag of $40 or $50 is just too much. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik, and I have tried to make a cascading or zigzag cards like this in the past without a fancy die, but they were a lot of work. How about you? Do you have a limit as to how much you can spend on one die set, or how much patience you have to try fancy folds from scratch? I made this card in just a few minutes using a die set from Creative Craft products that I found on the Paper Wishes website. Now, of course, links to all the products featured and to my blog posts with more details on the cards shown will be in my description box. Not only does this die set cut the main pieces to make this card, it also cuts out all the layering dies, and these would be impossible to do without a die with the diagonal, you know, the lines there and inside and out. That would be just impossible to do. And did you see the price tag that I paid? I only paid $22.99 for this set, which is a real bargain. My first card features pinpoint hearts. When it stands up, it looks like that, but you're seeing it from the top. So it, of course, lays flat to male, and then it stands up in that cascading or zigzag format. I loved the red, white, and black color combination, and these are new header dies from Tonic Studios that I got. So that was the first one I made, and it was so easy to make, as I'm going to show you. Here's another card that I made that I just love. The scenery paper is from Stampin' Up, and I know you're seeing it from the top, but I want to show you both ways. It continues through the whole thing. So you see that scenery, and then this becomes the sky. We have those birds flying, and then I like the idea of having things come up on acetate. In this case, I used 2 sentiments from Sue Wilson, thinking of you, wishing you well. And then on the back, I put a cat scrappiness rectangle wavy wonky die that I can sign and write a message on. Isn't that cool? I just love fancy fun folds, and this one was really, really easy to make. This is the card that I'm going to show you how to make step by step, and then at the end of this video I have another birthday themed cascading card to share with you. So this one again is, of course, a cascading card. It has flowers. These are Pinkfresh Studios washi tape, and I die cut them with a matching die. This set is called Blossoms and Berries. This is a Gina K die to add some foliage. This is another Sue Wilson die. I love her sentiments with her mix of fonts. And then again on the back I have put a signature piece with that wavy wonky die from Cat Scrappiness, and added another little floral piece there, so that once they're looking from the back. So that's the one that we're going to make together today. I have cut the 2 main pieces on mine. After experimenting, I labeled them left and right, and it just happened to be in the packaging that this one here was on the left and this one here was on the right. But to keep all the pieces together and coordinating with the right one, I have labeled them as well. So this is the left side, and then on the larger one I've labeled the 2 layering ones, and there's a reason for that. This one, if I'm working on the one side, the smallest die here would not fit in here. It has to be the right one. So I just ended up labeling them. I also labeled it on the pieces that I cut. So this one has a little R and this one has a little L, and again, that's how I'm just keeping them straight as far as what side is what. I'll show you whenever I start working with a die, I always make a template. I take some paper I don't care about at all, and I play with it to get it figured out. This shows that actually there's 2 layers for each one of those, but I'm choosing on this card to just use the larger of the 2, but there are 2 layers that you could use. And if this is the left main die, this is the white, what the one die does, and then this is the other die, and of course then it fits together. So I have cut them out, and then there are score lines, and just to make things a little easier, I just score them both ways to get it started. So on each of them you have these slits, and actually when it comes out of the die there's a little piece there that you have to snip to finish it. So there's a slit on each one of these, and then a score line. And I find that to put it together the first time, I start from the back one, and you're just going to slide this, put the slits together, okay, and then you're going to bend it, and you're going to put these 2 slits together. You can see it starting to form, and then you have the front one, and you have 2 slits there. And it's that easy. I mean, wasn't that super easy just to put those together? And I can tell you that I've tried to do these by hand, cut them the right size, add an angle, do the slits and everything, and it's way, way, way easier just to cut these 2 and put them together. Now, what I find is when I'm putting the layering pieces on, if it's two-sided, if it's the same color on both sides, it isn't a problem, but most of the paper that I was using had white on the back. So what I end up doing is I put a little mark on every one of the surfaces that are going to show. Okay, so there's a little pencil mark on each one of these, and I'll show you why, because then to take it, I take it apart to decorate. And I lay it down, and this is the right one, and here are my marks here and here and here and here, but on this middle one what actually shows is this side. Okay, so this is what helps me. Now maybe you don't need to do this, but it really helps me to keep track of where to put the layers. Let me show you real quick. I made my layers out of this really beautiful golden satin luxury embossed card. It's a mirror card, but it's got lines on there, and it's just my favorite. So I have both of these ready to go, and I have marked on here which side is going to show when I put it back together. So I have cut these in advance, and I actually labeled them. This is L1. So this one is going to go on here, and this is this is R1. Okay, so this is right, if this makes sense. Now you could just say AB, or you could, you know, I just did it the way it was in my packaging. This is R2, which it has to go on later, and this is R3. So I took the dies and I figured out what side, you know, how to cut them, and then I cut out each one of the layering dies. and I'm going to glue them on with my favorite glue from Barely Art. You could use any adhesive, but of course if you're using the glue, it gives you a little time to get it lined up perfectly. And you want all sides to have an even border. And we'll let that set up a minute and then flip it. So as I'm cutting out the layers, and I'm using this one-sided paper, it isn't the same on both sides, sometimes I had to cut from the back. So you just need to experiment with the dies once you get your two main pieces cut out, and put the die on and say, okay, it's backwards, no problem, I'm going to cut from the back. I looked and looked to try to find a tutorial on this specific die set, and I didn't find one. So I experimented and came up with my own tips on how to decorate it. And again, if I wanted to, I could add a second layer on all of these, or some of these, because the die is there. But I'm just using the larger of the two layering dies for my card, because I'm going to fill it up pretty much with a lot of flowers and butterflies. So the R2 goes on the other side. And again, you're going to line it up with the angle there, and then around the slot. Oh, boy, it's because I gotta flip it, don't I? I was like, that doesn't fit. Okay, so while they set up, I will show you. I am using a set from Pinkfresh Studios called Blossoms and Berries, and it is washi tape that you lay out on cardstock and then you cut with the matching die. This piece here I'm not using, but what I did on that piece that I cut was I punched a bunch of butterflies. So I have various butterflies that I can use, and I punched it out of the wreath shape. And then you get several beautiful florals, and then you also get a bunch of berries too that you can choose to decorate with. I also have Gina K Designs foliage that I'm going to use to decorate, and then I have cut a die cut Sue Wilson's Hope Your Day is Wonderful, and I attached it to a piece of acetate. And what I did was I used my Easy Cut adhesive on the back before I cut it out, and then I neutralized the stickiness on this part here with my powder, EK powder tool. So this is ready to go, and I decided on this one to do it in white. I think it'll stick out a little more. I liked it in red, but I think it'll be more readable, let's put it that way. So now to put it together the second time, for whatever reason, it does seem to be easier to start with the smallest ones. So you're just going to put these slits together again, and then the second one. Just got to kind of bend it a little, get those slots going. And then this one. Come on. Okay, so it really isn't hard. And now it's together, and we have these beautiful gold layers. And that's all set up and ready to go. I think I'll put the back on, working on the back. I have my rectangle that I can write a message on, and I'm using the wavy wonky dies from Cat Scrappiness. I just think they add so much more interest than just a regular rectangle or square or whatever shape. So I'm going to put that there. Now, most of the floral shapes I'm going to use my Zots, which I forgot to get out, but I have Zots that are micro and medium, and I have it marked there, and large or small. Anyway, I have 3 different sizes of Zots that I use all the time, and they are, of course, glue dots from Thermoweb. So on the front, I'm going to use the largest floral, and I'm going to take 2 of the mediums, which is the largest size I have here. Especially when you're putting it on a mirror card, the glue doesn't really work as well for this. So I find that the glue dots hold them very, very securely. So this is just going to go in the front. And then that one is done. And then I have 2, thought I had 2 of these. Guess not. That's right, because I used quite a few of them. So I will use the pieces that I have. So I'm going to put, first I think I'll put my sentiment on. I have some score tape on this piece of acetate. And that's going to come off this way. And then I think I will put, we want the larger flower up here, or yeah, put it here. And then I have strawberries and blueberries and butterflies. So this one I think would be pretty up there. And some more butterflies. I have to have it up for me to see. I know you're seeing it from the top, but while I decorate it, I have to have it open. But I will show you. As you can see, we have butterflies and flowers, and the sentiment so far. I just think that paper is just so pretty if you even just punch out a butterfly. So I used it that way. Now let's add some greens and see if what else we need. I have one more small one here. So I'm going to try to slide this one underneath here. And I would like another one. Let's see. Oh, get off your finger. What do you think, guys? Do we need any more? I have the flowers. I have the butterflies. This kind of hides this area. Maybe one more here. Yep, I think I will. What do we got left here? I think small. Looking for the right size here. I think I want it this way. Now I can feel the glue dot and I don't want it to hold anything closed. So what you can do is just neutralize the piece that's sticking out by taking your powder tool and just putting it on that glue so it no longer sticks. So I think that is good. I have the beautiful flowers in the front and the foliage, some of the berries, some of the butterflies. And then on the back, this is the back of this one, and what I did before and what seemed to be kind of fun was to put another butterfly there. That kind of covers up the back of that butterfly but kind of decorates it, and it's also floating off the top. So we have that cascading card that lays flat to mail and then stands up. And we have those beautiful berries and flowers, some foliage, and a message that says, "Hope your day is wonderful." I love how these cascading cards turned out and how easy they are to make with this die set. Here's another one I made with a birthday theme and many, many balloons. So we have it saying happy birthday to you, and a curved die, which is really perfect for these. Then a whole bunch of balloons pop up. I even have some embellishment candles there that I had in my stash, and some star-shaped and heart-shaped balloons. And then on the back of this, again, I just added more balloons and a signature piece. And this will be perfect for kids of all ages who might love getting a stand-up cascading card. Card making and sharing card making ideas brings me great joy, and I love to send my cards out into the world to spread that joy. My challenge to you is to try something new and then send your handmade cards out to spread joy too. Click on the next video for more ideas you can try with interactive dies, and be sure to come back next week for more card making joy here on Karen's Creative Cards.